it. We didn't do that. No, do you not?
Oh, what? What's that?
I don't know. What statue will add value to it?
I don't.
Okay. And we're back.
Ooh. Hi guys.
Hello.
Got coffee. I was gonna try and do cheeky little sips like this, but it's ridiculous.
Oh, we didn't get the prop.
Oh.
Should we get the prop
Can get it, yeah.
now?
Yeah, why not?
We haven't rehearsed this.
San Miguel is briefly leaving the screen, as you can see.
We finished. I don't know if you heard any of that. We finished the last week's episode. Yesterday. Today, maybe. With a quiz. It was a really bad quiz. Apologies to all quiz masters out there. My delivery was pretty poor.
Worded.
Pretty poor.
Yeah.
So we're going to do... This has got to be obvious, right? But today's episode is US themed. So we're doing a guess the movie based on a prop. That means you can't say the line though. Oh, you could.
Can't, no, that's too much. Just do the thing first, and then maybe ask it near the end. Do the line at the end, because if you don't know it from this, then you're just not gonna know it.
Ooh, little reveal.
What are we gonna hum? Is that a watermelon? Lovely.
Looks like one.
Holding watermelon.
Smells like one. You could say I'm carrying it. All right. Okay. Apologies.
Stop doing that.
I know for anybody that's got this in your ears and loud. Undisputed clap-off champion of the world, by the way.
Disputed. Who have you
One
fought
clap.
around the world?
You. I fought you.
But I'm
and
not around the world. I'm in the
people.
same country.
I've been to a few places, and for any of you that doesn't know the game, it's one clap only. Loudest clap wins. Undisputed clap-off champion of the world. Come at me, clappers. Right. Today's episode is US themed, so we're going to do our very...
No. Yep,
Are you
that's
singing?
the one. No.
Are you going to
Just
do
a
your
cheeky
best?
little hum.
What's your best? Can you do your best American accent? That's
well, it's more robotic.
that.
I think the easiest one to do would probably be southern states.
Go on then.
No, I'm saying that generally that's what actors consider the easier one to do.
What was that?
But not your true New York or Boston, something like that. They're really difficult to do.
You sort of talk out of the side of the mouth. Is that out?
Yeah.
Is that a little bit better?
This is why they
My
generally
name's...
try and avoid it.
Sorry
It's
for
easier to do the
stereotyping.
y'all.
Y'all. Okay, yeehaw, let's go.
Yeah.
I stopped myself from the loud clap there, so you're welcome.
My ears welcome.
There's a few bits happening across the pond.
Mm.
I don't know if any of you guys have seen or heard or read about it. It's hardly been covered anywhere, so let's do a little summary.
So, the imbecile, senile old man that is Biden has finally had to admit, bear in mind everyone was piling on top, that it's just not only not up for it, was already faltering even from when he first got elected. I'm not going to go into the was he elected and all that side of it. That's for the nutbags in America. They can just keep fighting that out amongst themselves. He is the president at the moment. It was just ridiculous. The guy.
It was cruel, actually. I think it was actually quite cruel. And
why?
Because he's a very old man.
Yeah,
how old is he?
why still
82? Is he 82?
Well, coming up. He's 3 years older than Trump, isn't he? So.
And I mean, he's clearly. Look, he's clearly got.
There's obviously something going on.
He's obviously gone a little bit. Like they're obviously pumping him with all sorts of vitamins and booster shots and whatever else they do. But it was a bit cool. And to be fair, he's been like that for a while.
Ages. It's not a new thing. It's just got worse.
And I think that just goes to show what an absolute nothingness that actual position is. He's a figurehead. Any president is literally just a figurehead. You can't have, because you can't have somebody like that. And
but he can still make a decision to do something.
Yeah, but they've got
The
safety
figurehead
checks.
is more like...
They've got safety.
They have.
If he suddenly decides, actually, do you know what? I just let's play with the nuclear codes.
Oh yeah, I understand that side.
They're going to say, yeah.
It's not a button.
They're
push.
going to say, oh look, here's a new episode of
know,
Dallas.
Yeah, I know it's not. You don't just push a button. It doesn't just go. All right, I'm going to nuke that country.
No.
I'll just push a button. I get those sort of safety, but it's more like with anything, businesses. Someone said something's going to happen, therefore stocks and shares start to fall. Like if Trump was to get in,
yeah, but that's why
they're already deciding. People already decide. I really don't like all that side of stuff. It's like they say, Apple just lost 20% because people thought they weren't going to do so well with their phone sales, and then they go and beat the expectations. But it's like they already lost all that money initially. It's like some people just get to decide. And it's the same with who's going to be next president. It's like,
all right, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Maybe we're not quite ready to do that. We're
good at rabbit holes.
But I'm interested in the significance of that position and actually how much power or influence that person really does have. I think, and that my point is, Biden's been like that for a long time now, years, and
it's got way worse over the last 6 months.
That for me just demonstrates that there are, and this probably is something Trump wants to talk about and is going to be championing as well. It demonstrates to me that it's just a machine. Those parties, the government as a machine, and there are many other people involved in a lot of decisions that actually run the country, and the president is, by all intents and purposes, just a figurehead that they can say, right, this is the person who, commander-in-chief, who leads. I don't think the system allows them to really have the influence.
But then,
which is maybe which is a good, probably a good thing.
I know, but I just think, if you look at, say, one of Trump haters, when Trump was in power, one of Trump's many haters was the South African comedian, what's his name, Trevor Noah. Do you know that, Trevor Noah?
Yeah.
And he said, as much as he hates Trump, and yes, it's not verbatim, as much as he dislikes Trump, he said he still had the ability that other countries wouldn't do certain things because they didn't know whether he'd just send an angry tweet or suddenly put a load of embargoes in place, which is a power they do have, and American businesses aren't allowed to trade with that country. That unknown factor is what he was going on about. Because you didn't know the unpredictableness of it, because you didn't know, that's power in itself, because you're not sure what they're going to do.
And I actually, let's take a step back again, because we might have new viewers for this type of content.
Yeah.
Because we need a bit of an introduction,
you read a title and it's going to be US, isn't it?
Yeah, USA.
In capitals.
USA.
Well, that could be the title.
So welcome. This is whatever this is. Whatever it is.
Glorious title.
We're just two mates, two guys from the UK of England. London. You sound like you're from London.
Yeah. All right, governor.
All right. Just gonna go up the old apples and pears.
Yeah. Everyone goes into the East End.
Get you on the old jelly bone. Anyway, we're two mates. We've got very different political views. We've been talking about politics, but a lot of other things, because politics affects everything, people.
So whatever this is.
And my learned friend here is what we would call in the UK a Tory, a Conservative, which is effectively a Republican.
No, in your world it would be white supremacist.
So more of a right side of the political spectrum. I'm not going to say
focus on the right there.
I'm not going to say far right, but he's further to the right than centre.
Yeah, fine.
And I am more of a. I don't have. This is the bit that we discussed in one of the earlier episodes. Please do feel free to check it out. My political views aren't How did I
You're going to
describe
tie it down to... You're not tribal.
I'm not tribal.
You're not going to tie it down to one thing.
No. So my views are sort of policy specific, or they
Quite liberal.
Yeah, if I was going to describe it, I'm very much more to the left. I'm not far left. I'm probably left of centre and not quite Labour, but maybe a little bit more liberal than Labour, which is, you've only got two parties in the States, which makes it simple, but also a bit confusing.
Yeah. I mean, yes, we have more here, but we still really only have two parties. Yes, the Lib Dems did well, but it's not... We still really only have two parties if you really break it down. There's plenty of other options. You have your independents, and to me, the Lib Dems are that. They're like the independents.
Yeah, okay, that's fair to say. But I would say, that's the nuance of our political system and the difference between options, a monarchy and a republic. You're better placed and qualified to articulate the nuances of it.
Yeah.
The concept of this discussion and this show is that although we have very different political views and different opinions and difficult conversations we have because of those.
Some are heated.
Very heated. We're still really good friends and are able to have these conversations and come away from this and have a beer and get on and be busy mates.
That's what you should do. Yeah.
That's what you should all do out there, people. Hey, have a nuanced debate without being regimented and sticking to a specific side.
Yeah, as long as the left don't get too powerful, everything's fine.
Yeah, fuck the right. So we thought we'd do a US special because there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I hear our UK audience, all three of you, no, there's a few more, subscribe, like, retweet, share, whatever.
Please do.
The UK audience said, why are you covering that? Well, some of you asked us to.
And despite what people say, they go, what's it got to do with us? Yeah, people always say stuff like that, but they're still talking about it. That's the whole point. So even if you hate something, you're still talking about it. So we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, and we live in a global world, and like it or not, what happens in the US has a significant effect.
Does not stay in the US.
No, has a significant effect globally, particularly with what's going on in the East and the rise of political power in China and Russia and all the other places across the world. So we started talking about Biden, and the big news is that he stood down, but that follows an assassination attempt on your man,
President Trump. Yep.
The felon, the crook, the man accused of rape.
Yeah.
I wonder.
It's the joy of accusations, isn't it? You can just throw them out there.
Well, no, that's a.
If they're not proven, they're still just there.
No, but that's a proven accusation. Do we have to be a little bit careful? He's not going to come out after us in any way, shape. I'd love that. I'd actually love that.
Pretty sure you said
accused,
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. My point was, you can just say anything you want.
No, but that
doesn't have to be. If
enough mud's
thrown,
he's a convicted felon.
In those words put together. Yeah, he is. Yeah, some court has said that. That's right.
Okay.
They have said that.
But he did survive an assassination attempt, which is wild. That whole thing is just.
The poor guy behind didn't survive.
No.
So
is he a patsy? What are we covering on this? Because we could go wild in terms of speculation and theories. First of all, it's just, it's not obviously not nice. Nobody should be shot at, and somebody died in that assassination attempt. What was remarkable is after it happened, there was a general feeling, well, I certainly felt it was like, well, he's won it. If you survive an assassination attempt and you have that iconic
there's that side of it.
photograph, it's just like, well,
America
loves that as a story, and it fuels the narrative. But and then after that, it was inevitable that Biden had. I mean, we should also.
It's already. stumbling that last.
The debate that was a car crash for him, literally.
Even if
not literally,
as much as I loved how bad he was doing, it's so bad that it was cringe to watch. Even though I want him to be doing that sort
you're
of
like
thing.
throwing the towel. You want if that's a boxing match, you want his ring to throw the fucking towel in that. Sorry about the swearing. Swearing? Swearing?
Sorry about the swearing.
Yeah, you want him to throw the towel. No, that was bad. I mean, I don't think Trump wasn't particularly great in it either, but by comparison,
It's great.
Okay, so let's rewind. So what's happening for those that aren't aware is there's the US election is taking place, and it's a much longer cycle than the UK. I think the UK, we had 6 weeks.
Yeah, theirs goes on months.
And I don't know
I appreciate
the
it's
exact terms.
much bigger, but it goes on for
They
months.
have their primaries, which is the first round of voting. I think is in November.
Yeah, well, that's the November is
The election.
that is when
The inauguration.
no, that's in January.
Right. Yeah.
So you got the vote in November, and that's when you see if Trump wins, the left crying and all the liberals doing their nutting.
That's pot kettle black. That saying if Trump wins, is the left crying because when
the other
Trump
way around,
lost,
they're not crying, are they? They're not going, oh my.
no, they're starting a coup d'état. They're starting an insurrection.
Some people decided to do that.
Incited.
So that was all of his supporters. That's what you're saying.
I didn't say that. You guys can rewind. I didn't
There was
say that.
millions of people that tried to storm
I
the
didn't say
Capitol.
there were millions
Yeah,
of
but
people.
it's in terms of numbers, it's a few people trying to were doing that, a few thousand.
Incited,
Which
which must make it really scary for people living in the States and actually for the rest of the world when you're seeing this what's been a pillar of or an example of democracy for the West for
democracy.
Yeah, whatever it's been positioned as for years now, to see that happen in what's supposedly the most civilized Western society. Obviously, we dispute that being
It's one of them.
And look at the contrast, by the way, and I'll give the Tories some credit, by the contrast, the way power was handed back or transferred in the UK government after the general election here in the UK recently. That's how it should be done, guys, by the way. Take note. Graciously, you lose graciously and with dignity, and that's what makes this quite interesting and quite scary, I think, for the rest of the world, seeing what's going to happen. Because whatever happens, Trump's going to, if Trump loses, he's going to complain and cry wolf and claim that it was stolen again and probably try and create another coup d'etat.
Well, none of he create. You can't be responsible for what other people are doing all the time.
I think anybody can see that his rhetoric and the things that he tweeted, he certainly didn't calm it down.
He did tweet saying, "Don't do that." So, in not
exactly
verbatim, not verbatim.
Okay. Anyway, so we've got that now. Rightly, and probably for the benefit of the Democratic Party for sure, Biden has stepped down.
Yep.
And we have a new candidate, Kamela Harris.
Cackling Harris.
So it's going to be interesting. I've followed her for a little while because I remember when she was Attorney General and she was questioning the appointments that Trump had made, particularly I think it was Brett Kavanaugh, to the Supreme Court, and I was impressed by her at that point. She has been a bit quiet, I think, from what I've understood or followed from the US politics. She probably hasn't been at the forefront, and as a VP you very rarely are anyway. You don't say
to a degree, but also I think when she talks for too long, you get a general sense that it's a bit of a dummy. But
how you can rise, how you can be a prosecutor and have a very distinguished career and rise to be Attorney General. Well, actually, and
still be a dummy.
Keir Starmer's not a dummy, is he? And I don't think Kamala Harris is a dummy either. Really, let's be honest. Again,
I think she's dummy, but yeah.
Well, this is interesting because I think that's probably the line. Well, the Republicans probably, I think they've been a bit wrong-footed here because they're going to struggle. A lot of their rhetoric, which was initially working very well for them, was that Biden was too old, which was obvious, but now Trump's the older candidate. And now we've got a really interesting battle between somebody, and this is the position the Democrats are going to take, somebody who has been Attorney General, has a really strong position on taking down felons and criminals.
That's all they're going to play on.
Oh, I just got a little.
Just suck it up.
Penguin.
Smell-o-vision does not work yet.
Tell the readers and the viewers what you were having for breakfast. Was it breakfast?
He called me a penguin because I ate 2 bits of smoked mackerel. That's it. I opened the packet and I ate the 2 bits of mackerel. Yes, they're very fishy, obviously. And he called me a penguin. Smile and wave, boys.
It wasn't.
Smile and wave.
Because then when I asked you if you wanted a drink, you went, oh!
Because I had some mackerel in my mouth. Yeah, and the odd burp is going to produce some of that smell.
Oh, dear.
Smell-o-vision is way off, so you're safe.
For additional context,
but I did have coffee, so...
We're both a teeny-weeny bit hungover this morning.
Yeah.
So... Yeah. I didn't know mackerel was
hurts.
Yeah, I didn't know mackerel was a hungover cure. Whatever's come out of that is certainly not helped.
To me, that's another thing with hangovers. Everyone's got a different thing. Mine's just time. After about 4 or 5 hours, I'll be all right.
All right, back to the track. Back to the topic. Because I think we've done a bit of positioning here, but we haven't demonstrated... I think it's fair to say you love Trump, but can you tell the readers why?
It's not so much loving Trump. I've said this before, and if you go back through other videos...
Watch
it's... For me, I look at the people that don't like someone first. And all the people... Yeah, but not everyone. Because he's my mate. But all the people that don't like Trump, and some of the people that I see, I really don't like those people. So I look at that first.
I didn't dig on this. Then, why don't you like them?
Well, the snivelling lefty people. Because they don't contribute anything.
The hippies? Yeah,
hippies is a massive umbrella. They all fall under that. Yeah. Eradicate the world of hippies, as Cartman said in an episode of South Park. It's not me saying.
Shout out to the South Park creators, by the way. I haven't seen an episode recently. I love that show. They literally describe what's going on. We've got maybe before
it's just
Kamela's appointment, but you guys have obviously got the thing between a giant douche and a turd sandwich. I mean, honestly, we had the same here in the UK. Come on, guys, do better. But carry on. So it's not even Trump, it's more.
I like when his name's mentioned, and some people just start to lose it. I just love watching that. I just think you're absolutely ridiculous as a person. So I like him because of that, because of what he stokes up. Now, if you're talking about, is he an intelligent person and all that side of things, to me it's irrelevant. It doesn't really matter because he is where he is, and you can't just do that by being absolutely retarded, can you?
No, it helps if you're corrupt, allegedly. What's interesting for me is I've had a bit of a shift. I don't like Trump. I hate everything he stands for, and the misogyny, his stance on immigrants, and he's dangerous, and his real affiliation with the far right, which you look at in his appointment, the VC appointment. I think it's dangerous, and it makes a really dangerous and turbulent world even more dangerous. But what my shift that's happened recently for me is there's clearly, and again this might be sort of rabbit hole territory, but there's clearly an establishment that doesn't want him to, and I think that we sort of touched on this off camera actually when we were talking about something else, but there's clearly an establishment that doesn't want him to be in power because he's dangerous, he's unpredictable, which I think is one of the things you quite like about him.
Well, also if you look at what's going on in the world now versus when he was in office, I know times change and things, but that unpredictable side of things has its own power.
Yes, but...
Like I said before, if you don't know if he's just going to send an angry tweet or put embargoes on your country, you're going to go, I'll just wait it out. And that whole waiting out is just peace, isn't it? Because nothing's happened. You're stepping into another country and waging war.
But you don't know if it is definitely peace, because it could be the opposite.
But they're still not doing a Russia into Ukraine type deal, are they? They're not doing that.
What do you mean by that?
Because other countries will just sort of toe the line, and because they're not quite sure what is going to happen, so they just sort of drift along. But when they know that someone's not going to step up or intervene, like Biden, not going to do anything, they're just nothing. All their might and all their power with the commander in chief.
But okay, so I challenge that slightly, because I think, and I don't know enough about American foreign policy. We only ever find out about the after the fact anyway, when Hollywood tells us about it with their propaganda stuff.
Well, just the news.
Yeah, but there's a lot of misinformation. I suspect, or I would like to think, and this is maybe where I'm being naive. I would like to think that although Biden isn't saying specific things and coming out in support and sending the tweet or playing the strong man as Trump likes to do, I think he's overcompensating there. But anyway,
that's the job done.
Well, how it doesn't though necessarily.
Well, the stuff going on today wasn't going on when he was in office, is all I'm saying.
And
people just say, "Oh, yeah, it was
of course it was."
Oh, so Russia was in Ukraine.
And
China was really beating his chest.
I don't think him coming into power is going to change that. I don't think Putin's. In fact, he's an apologist
that's the
for
joy
Putin.
that we get to see, isn't it?
Well, we
actually hopefully get to see it. So one country is finally going to do something.
I don't know if he will do anything.
This is like,
he specifically said he won't go in. And actually,
no, not about go in. It's about once he's in power, how other people react. So let's wait to see that. It's like the non-Rwanda thing. This will be the equivalent of seeing those 15 flights going off, because then you've got a control sample and you go, oh, okay, I've got something to compare it to now, as opposed to nothing happening. So once he's in power, then we'll see.
If it was
the months preceding that.
If it was a TV show, and sometimes it feels like the States is just like a TV show, then I'd be all in for it. I'd be willing Trump to win. I'd be like, yes, come on, let's see what season 6 looks like. This is going to be amazing. But it's not.
It's been
it's
glorious so far the last 4 years, isn't it?
Well, I don't know enough about sort of the state of the US, but from the reports that I've read, the economy's in a good place. They've got increased number of jobs. The country is actually in a better place than it has been, and has come out of COVID in that period really strong. At least Biden wasn't telling people to drink chlorine to get rid of fucking COVID.
Well, Trump didn't tell people to drink chlorine. Didn't say drink chlorine. I think something was a video was sent where some other guy suggested that was a way to do things.
He said, yeah.
He didn't say do that.
But he said it
just
could
said watch
be worse.
this.
Yeah, try it. Yeah. I mean, it's just I think, look, for what it's worth, I'd love to see Kamela win. I do hope. Do you think he's going to debate her? That's the bit. I bet he bottles that.
Of course he's not going to.
So
because she's only going to just say the same old
she's
thing.
Going to win?
No, she's not going to win. And she's just going to say the same old thing. She's a prosecutor and he's convicted felon. That's all they're going to play on, because that's all they got, and that's all she can do. That's it. So the debates are going to come, because he's not going to back out of it, is he? And wait till you see it.
He won't debate her.
Okay.
You think he will?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
Of course he will. Because she's only got one little thing to say. People say, yeah, he might ram home certain things, but he's still got a little bit of a range. She's only going to play that prosecutor felon nonsense. That she had a job before she was vice president, and she's going to play on that. And all you're going to see is the cackling nonsense that's going to come out of her mouth.
What do you think about his position? Did you not hear him singing the Chinese Prime Minister, President's praises? Xing saying that he's a really strong man, it's amazing the control, he has an iron fist over his country. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because you've got to look at it from 2 ways, haven't you? How's he doing that? But yes, the fact that is being done, if you're saying he's a strong man, he is because of what he's doing it, but people are going to look at how is he doing that?
Exactly.
Who's being repressed? Yeah, but I don't think like that. That's how you think. If he's got a good control over his country, strong because of you're going to be killed or your family massacred or something like that, still doesn't change the fact that he's got a strong hold over the country.
Okay.
So that statement of him being a strong man isn't incorrect.
If I was in the States, I would be really scared. Like whether you believe we live in a democracy or not, it's questionable. I agree in both Western UK, US, whatever. But you certainly don't want to be in a dictatorship. Surely, that be careful what you wish for. And that guy is signalling and has signalled through all of his actions for a long period of time, both in the way he responded to the loss of the elections and what he did when he was in power, that he will do everything. I think he's been quite open and honest about it to create a dictatorship.
Yeah, but
to create absolute rule.
Look at the it'd be a type of dictatorship, not an actual dictatorship. And look at the Arab Spring from 2011. You had 3 or 4 people controlling certain stuff, and now you've got factions all over the place, which the CIA or GCHQ can't even keep track of now. Because we had Saddam Hussein, the Libyan, what's his name, Colonel Gaddafi. We had like 4 or 5 people, and bad people, but they were holding on to and stopping the spread of what you've got now, which no one even knows what's going on. There's so many different factors now. So dictatorships have their place in certain situations.
That's a byproduct of Western democracies, US, UK, going into those places, getting rid of the existing dictator and putting in their own prop.
Just blame the West. We had our time, and these people have had complete control over their own countries for 5 decades plus, 6, 7 decades.
They should have it.
Yes, but they're still messing it up. So how's that still our fault?
We're messing up our own countries.
Yeah.
Do we then think, oh, well, actually, why don't you guys come? How would you feel if they came in and got rid of one of our prime ministers or leaders and put in their puppet?
They're in control of their own country.
Are they?
So,
are they?
Well,
that's maybe something for another episode. I'm going to do a little bit of a disclaimer because this is very much out of our territory. A little bit, well, very much because it's the US. And we're not presenting ourselves as experts in any way, shape or form. In fact,
I am not a doctor.
Neither am I. And the idea or the concept behind this is everybody can and should be interested in politics. We only know what we read, and we try to check various different sources, maybe more than me than him. But that's not true.
Because if you read 10 lefty sources, then it must be true.
I don't just read lefty sources.
Sure.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
I said sure. Disagreeing with you.
But the algorithms probably do serve me more lefty content than anything else. But I do try to look at the balanced view. We're not experts at all, and I'd love...
We're just guys.
We're just guys. Okay, guy. All right, buddy. I'd love for any fact checkers or anybody to put in the comments if they've got an alternative view.
Do it. Those excited comments.
Get involved. This has been our first foray into the US of A. So tell us if you want a little bit more of this content or if you want us to cover anything else. We'll take questions, views, and thinking about running a little incentive. We haven't spoken about this, so I'm just going live with this.
As you always do.
What we're gonna do? We're gonna do this. I'm looking at my watch because I'm going to say we're gonna run a competition until the end of this year. Actually, maybe we'll do it shorter. Let's do. Where are we now? July? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's do it until the end of September. Whoever comments the most on our videos and posts, we will invite to join live, or maybe not live, but a recording and be a guest on our. So whatever this is.
That's a bloody good idea.
I think so. Yeah, I just thought of that while we were doing it. So if you like it and want to get involved. You don't have to, so if you get a little bit scared, you're a little bit camera shy and you comment loads because you're excited but you don't want to be on the show, that's okay, you can opt out. we'll just keep doing this. But if you do and you want to be involved, we'll get you involved.
Right,
So
a little bit here on the screen.
be a little keyboard warrior. And yeah, that's been us. I've been Michael.
I've been Gary.
Adios.
Take care, guys.
Hasta luego.